Whoopi Goldberg from The View just got canceled, and New York City Mayor Eric Adams is turning full MAGA. Now, honestly, guys, I just don't know which news to share with you guys first. I mean, seriously, just make sure you guys stick around to the end because this is a big one. So first off, Holtermann's bakery owner, Jill Holtermann from New York, and other supporters, they defended the bakery after Whoopi Goldberg accused the business of denying her service over politics. Watch.
Getting phone calls and then people coming in, people from all over just supporting us in every way. We had phone calls yesterday from Alabama. Guy says, I'm going to give you $50, send it to a school, send them donuts, send them cupcakes. The support has been so overwhelming, and I know how hard my family has worked to keep this business alive. And I wish my father was here today to see this. He would never believe it. My bakers come in 2 or 3 in the morning just to have donuts and rolls for everybody to come in and say, we have the best rolls ever. And you know what? It took my whole family. It takes everybody, the community that comes every day to see us. We have this everyday conversation with everybody. How's the family? How's this? This is what makes Holtermann's. It's the community, it's my fellow everything that come out and us giving back to the community that makes this go round. And if it wasn't for you and Staten Island to make this work, we still wouldn't be here today.
So what do you guys think? I mean, seriously, guys, Whoopi Goldberg needs to be fired, banned, and maybe even boycotted for all I know, all the above. Now, just imagine if the bakery actually sued her. I mean, just listen to what she said without any basis at all. Here's the clip with commentary from Fox News. Watch.
The place that made these refused to make them for me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What? Oh.
No. Let me explain. They said that their ovens had gone down, all kinds of stuff, but folks went and got them anyway, which is why I'm not telling you who made them. But can't be because I'm a woman, but perhaps they did not like my politics.
Yeah. Okay, the boiler was broken. I mean, you could hear the New York City councilman there. They brought everybody to those microphones.
Not political is what they're saying. This is just pure evil by Whoopi Goldberg trying to destroy a family business that's been in business for as long as they just said, just because it couldn't be that she might actually not get a cupcake on her birthday. And because she's such a lunatic, she thinks anything that doesn't go her way is some conspiracy theory against her and that everybody hates her. This is the intolerance of the left. Like, I have no idea how these people voted, but I'm going to guess that some of the people that just spoke are probably Democrats. And thank goodness that they came out. And thank goodness that they said, you don't do this to our bakery. You don't do this to a family business. I hope there's a lawsuit here. I hope Whoopi Goldberg has to pay a huge, huge birthday check to this bakery. They deserve it.
I think ABC's on the hook here.
And honestly, I don't even understand how The View is even on air, as it's just literally dividing Americans even more. The very controversial New York City Mayor Eric Adams, he was on recently, and seriously, guys, sounded like he's turning full MAGA.
I say let's dismantle the hate. And what you saw in this city, in this election, when you saw a shift and the city becoming, and the state becoming redder, is because we stopped talking about working class people issues. When mom and pops are afraid, I can't pay my college tuition, the rent is too damn high, healthcare is too expensive. We stopped talking to everyday New Yorkers and Americans. When I'm in the street talking to them, they're not asking me, Eric, tell me about fascism. They're talking about finance. They're not talking about Hitler. They're talking about housing. We need to talk to everyday working class people, and we stopped doing that. And those are the issues that they are afraid of. They're afraid of the future of their children.
Now, honestly, if you didn't tell me otherwise, I would say that we just heard from a very MAGA person, the way he talks, and more importantly, the way he makes sense. You know what I mean, guys? This is why everybody's probably going to end up voting red for the next 100 years. Trump and his party just get it. And Adams looks like he's starting to see the light. So here's Mayor Eric Adams defending Trump's choice of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as HHS Chief. Watch.
Executives will nominate and bring in those who they believe will move their vision forward. And everything from the fluoride issue, I believe we should have fluoride in the water based on what my experts are telling me. But let's be clear, we have a real problem with our food in our country. And we need to watch what we're feeding our children. And
what is the major problem, do you think?
Too much hormones. Many people know,
preservatives.
people know I almost lost my sight with diabetes. The doctor told me I would be blind in a year. I was going to lose my fingers and toes. And it was my food. It wasn't my DNA. It was my dinner.
But JFK Jr. RFK Jr. ate some pork and now he has a brain worm. Is he the person that should be in charge of that?
Yeah, well, let's
food?
Right. And let's understand this also. In all of these agencies, there are thousands of employees and experts that understand these topics, and there are rules, there are regulations.
Mayor, a lot of them want to resign. When they see some of the people that are going to be on top, I think there's going to be a mass exodus of people who have the institutional knowledge and the institutional memory and DOD
I would hope so
at HHS. Who wants to work under our cook?
And let me respond to that. If we love our country, then no one individual should take us away from our mission.
Yes.
If you dedicated your life to a particular place, I dedicated my life to law enforcement. So if a new commissioner came in that I disagreed with, I was not going to say, I'm going to resign. Let's love the country. Let's love our cities. Let's get away from the rhetoric of the professionalism that we know. Those are experts in this. They're going to look at his proposal, do a real analysis, and make these decisions. It happens every day.
By the way, guys, did you notice how the hosts were trying so desperately to control the narrative and he didn't take the bait? Good on you, Mayor Eric Adams. So here's another part of the interview where he refused to take the bait on whether he's cozying up to Trump in order to get the charges on him dropped. Watch.
You were indicted on charges that allege you accepted luxury travel perks and illegal campaign contributions from a Turkish official who was seeking political favors. Now, a few members of your inner circle have also been indicted. More are under investigation. I understand you have pled not guilty. You continue to run the city. But critics are suggesting that you have recently embraced Trump, perhaps because you want either the charges dropped or perhaps a pardon from President-elect Trump. What's your response to those critics?
Well, I think nothing is more challenging than not being able to defend yourself in public.
You have the floor.
I know that
I'm sorry?
You have the floor.
Well, he can't really talk about the case.
Former prosecutor. I'm so glad you're saying that.
Can't talk
A
about
former
the case,
prosecutor.
but you can talk about whether or not you believe that your recent embracing of Trump, your critics are saying, is because you hope for a pardon or you hope to get some sort of the charges perhaps dropped.
Listen, I said it over and over again. I did nothing wrong. I spent 40 years of my life, 22 of them as a police officer, protecting the children and family of the city. I'm consistent of that. I live my life the way I expect everyday New Yorkers are supposed to live their life. I have a legal team. They're going to manage that case.
Now, I gotta admit, the case against Eric Adams is a whole mess in and of itself. But hey, that doesn't mean that Eric Adams isn't making sense with what he's saying is wrong with the system. For one, even he, as the mayor of possibly the most liberal city in America, admits that the immigration system is broken and Americans voted to fix it. Watch.
We have a broken immigration system. I don't believe in mass deportation, but I don't believe in mass saturation. 220,000 migrants and asylum seekers came to the city, cost us $6.4 billion. I'm not allowed to let them work. I'm not allowed to have them be participating in the tax base of this city. We can't deport those who commit crimes in our city. We are not allowed to connect with ICE. This is a failed system. We need to fix it. And if we don't fix it, we're seeing what's happening in Chicago, what's happening in Houston, what's happening in Denver. This is wrong for cities to pick up this course. They only gave me $200 million out of $6.4 billion that it should have gone to everyday issues in our city.
And it's not just words, as the New York City Mayor Eric Adams is putting his money where his mouth is. Just recently, Eric Adams announced that he's ending his administration's controversial program supplying migrants in taxpayer-funded shelters with prepaid debit cards to pay for groceries. And it was pretty big too. The pilot program launched in March under an emergency contract with New Jersey-based tech startup Mobility Capital Finance. In total, doled out $2.4 million in preloaded MasterCards to some 2,600 migrant families for food. Through this program, the company distributed preloaded MasterCards to asylum seekers at hotels turned into shelters, with a family of 4 receiving about $350 a week in order to cover the cost of groceries and baby supplies. But apparently, there was some controversy about this even beyond the fact that they were sending out $2,000 debit cards to migrants. See, McKay-Pfizer's $53 million one-year emergency contract drew backlash because the city failed to conduct a typical bidding process before picking the company. The Adams administration said the no-bid emergency contract was awarded in order to avoid delays in rolling out the cost-saving program. But then why did the city comptroller Brad Lander revoke the city's ability to award such deals to migrant services? That's basically admitting that they were doing something wrong with it in the first place, isn't it? Drop a quick yes in the comments down below if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down here, guys. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, tap that notification bell for more updates like this sent straight to your devices. All right, so stick with me, guys, because we're literally just getting started with this one. In fact, let's continue the discussion right here, right now. All right, so admittedly, there is something to this rumor of New York City Mayor Eric Adams cozying up to President-elect Trump, right? But then again, who wouldn't want to be in the same room as Trump, right? And hey, there are definitely worse allies than the mayor of the Big Apple. Who knows? This could even be the start of New York turning red, right? Never underestimate the Trump effect, I always say. But yeah, continuing his soft touch on Trump, the Democrat mayor recently also praised Elon Musk's inclusion of the incoming cabinet of President-elect Donald Trump. He said that Elon Musk's new Department of Government Efficiency could be the perfect solution to what he described as an antiquated government filled with bureaucracy, unwilling to make any changes. Now, if that doesn't sound like almost every single government agency under this current administration, then I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, Eric Adams is definitely doing his best to hitch onto this wagon with Trump, and maybe even to the latter extent, Elon Musk. He recently talked about the robotic dog used to guard Trump's Florida residence, and the New York City mayor unveiled a machine used by the same manufacturer at Times Square press conference in 2023. He said that while Trump has been using the DigiDog in Florida to protect his grounds, it just shows that they have been leading from the front. So yeah, it definitely sounds like Eric Adams is trying to get on Trump's good graces. He even declined to comment directly on the controversial nomination of Firebrand Florida Representative Matt Gaetz as Trump's nomination for Attorney General. Instead, Eric Adams said that you got to pick the right people that understand the vision and are willing to move with that vision, and Trump's choosing the people who they believe. Yeah, so Adams also ratcheted up the criticism on his own party. In fact, on The View, they talked about how Kamala Harris underperformed President Joe Biden's 2020 New York performance by 11 points in the 2024 election. For Adams, it's because the party has stopped talking about working class people issues. They stopped talking about New Yorkers and Americans. Adams said people aren't asking him about fascism. Instead, they're talking about finance. They're not talking about Hitler. They're talking about housing. So for the still Democrat, but definitely sounds like a Republican now mayor, they need to talk to everyday working class people, and Democrats, they just stopped doing that. Now, would you guys be surprised if Eric Adams would announce that he's now going to be a Republican? That would definitely be a kick in the pants for the party, wouldn't it? Like I said, guys, the Trump effect, don't ever underestimate it. Because, see, for his part, President-elect has trashed the case against Adams as politically motivated and compared himself to the New York City and said that, hey, they're both victims of similar retribution scheme. We have still yet to see if President-elect Donald Trump's victory is truly going to be good news for New York City Mayor Eric Adams as he continues to battle federal corruption charges. Him along with Diddy, of course. In fact, in late September, prosecutors from Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office indicted Eric Adams on 5 counts, including accepting bribes from figures connected to the Turkish government. I know, guys, the stakes are definitely too high at this point. A conviction could result in up to 45 years in prison should he be found guilty on all counts. But because of Adams' soft touch with Trump throughout the campaign and him having the political savvy to not align himself with the Vice President Kamala Harris, a lot of options have definitely opened up for Eric Adams. Not only could Trump alter the way that the federal prosecutors handled the case, he could even pardon Eric Adams should they convict him. Adams spoke with Trump just recently, in fact, but according to him, they did not discuss his criminal case. He said that he's been extremely clear that he's done nothing wrong and that he's competent attorneys that are going to handle the case. They're going to take care of it. Definitely something to look out for in our future updates as his trial is set to begin in April, only 2 months before New York City's Democratic primary. And while Trump could always issue a pardon if the mayor is convicted, there's always ways to help him beforehand. For one, they're already talking about the Justice Department pulling resources from the case once Trump takes office. Federal prosecutors for Eric Adams' corruption case assigned a larger than standard number of assistant U.S. attorneys to the case. Now, experts say that sapping some of that muscle when Trump takes office in January, just 3 months before the trial is set to begin, this would deprive the prosecution team of crucial resources right when they need them the most. Now, of course, the ideal scenario for Eric Adams would be just simply tossing the charges altogether, though, of course, that would require what they are calling direct flouting or long-standing norms at the Department of Justice. Adams also has a 2025 re-election campaign to think about. So really, whatever happens, if even a whiff of assistance from Trump is detected in New York City political circles, that would definitely have an impact on Mayor Eric Adams' ability to get reelected. So of course there's that. But we'll definitely see, guys. Now, if you guys remember from his first term, Trump issued a slew of pardons without going through the formal process. Just last month, Trump said at an annual political dinner that Adams also attended in Manhattan. And let me quote him straight on this one, all right? I just want to be nice because I know what it's like to be persecuted by the DOJ for speaking out against open borders. He said that we were persecuted, Eric. I was persecuted, and so were you. The mayor then refused to join fellow Democrats in calling Trump a fascist, something Harris got into in the final weeks of her failing campaign. Trump also predicted that Adams would beat the rap. He said he knows Adams is going to win, so good luck. Could those words be Trump welcoming Adams to the fold? You tell me, guys. Drop a quick comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this one. We can definitely pick this up again in a future update. Just make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and have your notification bell turned on so you don't miss it, all right? Now, speaking of, we've got a lot of other great videos on the channel for you guys to check out. I highly recommend that you guys check out our other video where we're talking about this viral video of a teacher threatening Trump supporters, maybe even her students, that she's going to fight them and end them. For real, guys, you got to check that video out right after this one. As always, appreciate you guys liking the video. Thank you for subscribing to the channel and for sharing these videos. I appreciate the support, you guys. See you guys next time.